Back to
Ready.
business. Back to business. Yeah, this is the Reggaecy, where we endeavor to preserve the legacy of reggae and dancehall music. Much respect, people. Thanks for always tuning in. We're back at it again, with man like Sheehan, Oliver, and myself, Randy. You see me, I say? At any rate, this week, we have two brand new albums that we want to discuss, we want to touch upon. First of which, put Protoje of an album. It's called In Search of Lost Time, right? Just released a few days ago, not too long.
Friday.
Yeah, and today maybe Monday. So people just some context want to understand. Say recent happenings, and we've been doing our homework and creating the album them the real way. So at any rate, the album name In Search of Lost Time. So I know we spoke about what the album may mean to us before when we heard the album name, and we didn't know or we didn't hear any of the tracks. Now, my question for the masses as well as Oliver and Shane. Oliver and Shane, I can talk about it right now because them actually here, but you guys can comment, below and make we know what I want to feel about the name of the album, the title of the album, In Search of Lost Time. And if you all have been listening, what does the title mean based off what you heard so far of the album? So, with that being said, that is a question. What does the title mean based off what you heard from the album? Anyone I want can attack it first, I don't know whichever one I want already. You see me?
I mean, well, initially, when we talk about what we think the album mean, I say, I said before that Protoje seemed to always have a play on time when it comes down to his projects. Like ancient future, you talk about ancient and future, you talk about time, past and as far as past and future.
Yeah, that's right. You did say that, Shane. Yes.
Yeah, and them kind of thing. And so Protoje to me always have a deeper thinking in things like that. So In Search of Lost Time, if I should look at basically as far as the songs go, in a way, especially when I think about Like Royalty, right, which is my favorite track on the album, or one of, right?
Yeah.
It's a case where he might try catch up. You get what I say? Like, he might work hard to get to the point where he want everything to be the way he envisioned it. You get what I'm saying? Like, sooner than later, if for lack of a better, phrase in that sense, sooner than later, and just put in the work from, ever since. And him just want to get to the point where it is how he envisioned it, things should be,
Yeah.
So that is how we feel about the album name in the sense of in relation to the songs or the material.
So we touched on this before, Randy, and I'll go deep for this time. So after we had the show, I actually went and researched it, and there is a famous French novel by the same name, In Search of Lost Time. The 7-Year Itch, there's a novel by that name as well.
Oh.
So it tells me that he's well read. He likes certain novels, and they mean something to him.
So hold on.
So,
I don't know if you know as far as deep as, is it the same author or a different author? You don't know that, right?
A different author.
Okay.
Remembrance, it's also translated from French to remembrance of things from the past.
Okay.
So because it's a very famous novel, I think that has something to do with it. But of course, he put his own spin to the what it means to him. The novel, from what I understand, the synopsis of it is about the author giving you a nostalgic look then on their life growing up and things from the past.
Okay.
And how it come to where they are this day, right? Before even based on the songs we were hearing, royalty, the things he must say in the song,
Yeah.
reflecting upon the people who have helped him along the way. It feels like that was the purpose of the track, the name. And when I look at the whole project,
yeah,
it seems like it's him telling you not just who Protoje is, as if it's an introduction, but more like I'm looking back and I'm showing you how I got to where I got. And this was my journey. There was some good, there was some bad, and this is where I am right now. Towards the end, right? So this is what I got from it. So all the work he put in, I think a lot of the records he was echoing that sentiment. Like put in the work, or people used to diss me, so and so and so, or people help me, or me help people. So it seemed like a lot of what is going on in his life and within the music industry in Jamaica, in reggae.
Okay, so that being said, it sounds because you mentioned reflection, so the whole body of work feel like a reflection, right? On
Yes.
past things and everything in putting in time. You use that phrase that too. So that being said, could this, like his way of saying that it's time now for maybe you might expect big things from the album here then? Because it kind of feel like maybe he paid all this with his time. Even the album cover, it looked like he might chase him look at that and thing. I mean, how you feel like it has speak to that?
Well, I mentioned that the first time we discussed it.
We did.
And I think the greater is that as well. That's catching up on last time, making up for last time, whether it's with family, whether it's with friends, whether it's with the music. I think he believes that it's time for the Grammy. I think he wants this Grammy nomination. And not just because he's been nominated already.
Yeah.
But I think he wants the Grammy this time. It's a good album, in my opinion, good enough to give him the Grammy. He'll be up against some competition this year. We had a lot of albums came out this year and still coming out. We still have 4 more months. Budget definitely going to be in the argument.
Yeah.
Maybe even the Skip EP or album.
Definitely.
Right? Who else did drop this year? Lila dropped as well. But maybe she have to PR dues. It looked like Chronic's coming this year too, at some point. So it's this year going to be tough.
And it seemed like Coffee coming with another EP as well this year.
It didn't drop, but it looks like her and Chronic's maybe before the year is out as well. So competition for the Grammy is going to be stiff. I like it. If the Grammy do the right thing and actually don't just pick legacy acts.
So hold on there. Am I hearing this right?
Oh, Toots is coming as well.
But am I hearing this right? Oliver, you're saying this should be, so as far as what you've heard all year, this should be the winner for the Reggae Grammy?
I don't know. So I think
I know what the Grammy is based off. I'm just asking you your choice.
Listen, but from my perspective, I mean, have I listened to all the records? I don't want to be a hypocrite here. Taros just dropped as well. I haven't gotten a chance to listen to all of it. But of what I've heard so far, I wouldn't be surprised. I heard some records, some Toots that I like, and I said this the last show. Actually, I'm very impressed with Toots at 77 years old.
Okay.
And we talked about it before, but the record that he dropped, there's one with Ziggy too. They're very fresh to me, very fresh sounding.
Yeah, so, you bring up Toots, Oliver, and sorry to say we kind of hear not so good news. We say he's back in the hospital, not feeling so well. Don't know what the reasons are or reason is, but Yeah, we here at the Reggaecy, we are pray and I hope him pull through, you know what I'm saying?
They're suggesting that maybe it's COVID, but at his age, you have to be careful with anything. Hopefully, in pull through. The news though did say he's feeling better today.
Okay.
Hopefully, that's the truth, and we're getting accurate information. I hope him pull through, cause I wanted the real legend. Would love to even, boy, it would have been great to have it would be great to have an interview with that legend right there.
Yeah, definitely.
Because we don't have many videos of Toots doing interviews.
Not only that, with a man of his years, sorry to say again, we don't know how much more time because we're discussing Protoje album In Search of Last Time, and it's ironic that time comes into play when we even mention, we bring up Toots, you know? Because many of these artists, them may not have reaped a lot from what they saw, but them basically paid in time. And for me, I feel like that's what Protoje is referring to when him even come and say In Search of Last Time. Because this is probably like him, I don't know, maybe in fifth or sixth
album. And fifth album. Fifth.
Right. And him basically put in the work, put in the foundation. Now him actually start build him have a couple of other artists where I work with. On this body of work, him have, if you remember right, Lila Ike's on it, him have Coffee on it, him have Wiz Khalifa on it, and him have Popcorn. So him have some collaboration on the album. Yeah. So him put in the time, him lay a foundation, and him work for great things right now. So In Search of Last Time.
I want to ask you then, Randy and Shane.
Yeah.
The same question you asked me. As far as Grammy concerned, where y'all see this album? I know it's early, but so far.
Yeah. So for me, like this is like a solid, cohesive body of work. 10 tracks, and me never skip none of them. I listen it multiple times.
Me either.
And I love all of them actually. So to answer your question, even though it seemed like me I go around it, it's like me I kind of try compare it in my head to others. I also feel like some of his label mates, even though they put out EPs, then put out good material.
Notably, the whole camp putting out good material.
Yeah. Notably though, me did really like Lila Ike's EP. Right? I love Savannah EP too. But Savannah EP to me is more like that introduced me to who Savannah is and or who she may become. So
I think him have a lot of influence on those projects as well.
Yeah,
production wise, composition wise.
So for me, right now, based off of everything that we've mentioned or even discussed prior, I would give it to Protoje. Me I think back one track, him have 2 weed songs on it. I like the 2 of them.
We should give him flowers too. And I implore the other people and in the fraternity, we need to lift each other up. Lifting up Protoje don't take nothing from your table. What he's doing is great for the culture.
Commendable.
And In Search of Last, it's not just him. I think he's doing this for the bigger picture, the bigger goal. He's helping other young artists, and more artists need to do that. And we need to give him a round of applause for that, man. Because I don't remember another artist, and correct me if I'm wrong, taking it upon himself to build a label like this, kind of following the more universal approach with a distribution deal, and also helping other artists. Usually in reggae, one artist get on, him get a distribution and sign with a label, and that's it.
Yeah, them pretty much do them own thing.
Maybe them bring somebody on a single.
But for real, this me not recall this been done before.
Maybe before our
time.
Maybe long time ago.
But as far as creating a collective and say, all right, indignation, and he even put them before himself.
I mean, Penthouse was doing this, but different, because Penthouse didn't have a big distribution.
So the burning question, you ask the question, the burning question is this Grammy worthy, or is this the one for the Grammy? What you think, Shane?
So far, I definitely believe it's Grammy worthy. Yeah.
But we can't say whether I'm going to win or not. I think Buju will be a heavy favorite because of all the trial and tribulations and all of what's going on around this project. Because let's be honest and be real here. The Grammy is not just about how the album sound. You have to have people actually kind of like a lauding or any kind of thing where you try to get past. You have to have lobbyists. We are trying to lobby the album for a Grammy.
Yep.
So if you have stronger people in your background supporting your project, you actually have to order and promote it and showcase it, and that's part of the whole Grammy thing.
So, yeah, good explanation, Oliver. But after merit,
also,
go ahead.
Also feel like Skip Marley album too. I mean, it's very mellow. To me, we won't talk about that in depth, but this him have a smash hit on the album, which me think I will do a lot of good in the sense of a Grammy nomination.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? In my opinion.
Case.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I broke a lot of records with that track.
Yeah, me just feel like based off of the merit of cohesive body of work, overall great tracks. Not just say good, because we can go down the list. The album start off with a track with Coffee.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the back and forth upon that at one time
lyrically wicked.
Yeah.
Where's the name of the track?
It named Switch It Up. Yeah, it named Switch It Up. So
what? I'm not cut around you, but what I like about this album? In touch on a lot of little isms within our culture.
Yeah.
And him do it very cleverly. And I say that to say, they switch it up. Him actually talk about people who switch up on you. And let's be honest, because I think our culture needs to start having some honest conversation.
Yeah.
Sometimes we see some comments, people vex sometimes when we share our opinions and say certain things.
So hold on, Oliver. More you go look a bit more in depth before you start talk about that. Give them more clarification on what switch it up mean.
So for those who don't really know or are not familiar with the culture, switch it up is kind of like them switch. Person was acting one way, and then you help them, or you give them some guidance or something like that, or they needed something from you, and once they got it, they said, okay, I'm show you a different face, so to speak.
Like somebody were flip-flop, basically.
Right.
Right.
So they switch pan you like a light switch, And I think it's not just our culture, but I'm talking about dancehall culture, reggae culture. It's not, I don't think I'm reaching when I say this is something we hear a lot of other artists. Maybe they don't put it in a full song, right? But a lot of, we spoke about Latin the other day, right? And for people, go back and listen to the Latin. It's a good review I felt of the Latin record, gave it some background. And he was saying, frustrated on Facebook, how certain producers that produced him before when he was at a hype just switched up on him. Maybe they got what they needed, and after that, it's like, bye-bye, Laden is here now, so, there's no benefit to me doing a record with Laden.
Yeah.
So that kind of thing kills the culture, because we're not big like, say, the hip-hop culture. The hip hop culture can survive this. There's multiple artists, 10 times or more the artists and producers. So if you switch it up, we can go find some other producer, right?
Stick up in. That almost sound like how you bring up that it almost sound like, even though many of us from the Caribbean or even Jamaica always blame people externally for appropriation,
Yes.
It's almost like we're doing the same thing. We're doing the same thing, and it's okay for us to do it and then rip and run off. But if somebody from outside come and do it, it's a big uproar.
Give me an example.
All right.
So the people can know. Not for me, but
all right. Well, we not see no seeds of this, but all right, like for instance, we just a couple things we can point out.
Trap.
Right. So no, maybe point it out in as far as me see things. So for instance now, we sometimes we have overseas entertainers. Them maybe because them fascinated with the culture or whatever, them comment on it, or they might, try
to something
just like we are, whatever. Perfect example. Adele just did something like that, right? And
tell them what she had on.
So she had on a two-piece, like maybe a bikini, not really swimwear, but the top like a bra, like with Jamaican print, like the flag, and the bottom was like maybe a black and with or gray or whatever tights or whatever leggings, right? And then she had some what Jamaican would call shiny bump, but them call it bantu knots in her ear, as I had some look around thing. So while some people did feel like it okay, and think you had a whole selection of people that were in an uproar saying she's appropriating. Now, I look at it like, if you know the background, she's from England, she's from London or in that area there, right? And there's a huge Jamaican community in England.
Right, but what was she at the carnival? Because
no, the carnival get postponed, or not postponed, cancelled because of what's going on now with COVID.
Okay.
So the thing is, many people aren't happy about them. She included, never happy about it. So this was, I guess, kind of fair way of celebrating
anyway
privately.
Yeah. Yes, right. So anyway, people, everybody else feel like them opinion valid. So people kind of feel some way about it. Some people express that she appropriate. Some people, okay with it. My 2 cents is, I didn't see it as appropriating, especially if it's something where you like. I mean, how do we as a culture expect to grow if people external to a culture now go mimic, now go follow, now go identify with what we do? And the minute them do it and you feel like them might get some attention, it's like, oh, I'm upset because if put on the same thing what she put on, nobody don't notice me. But no one knows you sometimes. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So what this is doing, I feel like it's doing great for us because it's more exposure.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But some people see it different.
Sure. And then in addition to that, to the new what I read about it is, it's crazy where they noted that the people who were having a problem with it were not Jamaicans. Right? Like Jamaicans were actually, commenting positively about it. They love it and they love her and all of that.
She have something to say about that part too.
Yeah, right? And then on top of that, when I saw it, like this, she having the bantu knots in her head, and our culture this and our culture that, right? And the first thing that flashed to my mind was this: for as long as I have been alive, seeing Jamaican women, not just Jamaican women, but as for the case of conversation, because we're talking about Jamaican culture, right? Jamaican women have been wearing wig and weave.
You're going to a sensitive subject.
I know, but is it unfair?
No, I mean, I say you shouldn't.
Are they appropriating other
Is it
cultures?
unfair? Are they appropriating white people?
I think
Culture?
we don't like to have these honest conversations. That's the only
You get what I'm saying? So it's okay for all of them to put on them weave and them curly, whether it be black or brunette
or blonde
or blonde
or
or
get
even,
blue contacts.
whatever colors which was started by like punk rock. The punk rock community, if you have pink wig and blue and green or whatever colors, nobody not do that more than black people. So how is it a problem when a white woman putting a bantu knots in her head? But like, who was doing that first? Who was appropriating whose hairstyle first? You get what I say? So it's just a whole thing.
One act.
It's just a whole thing that I like. It just annoys me at this point.
Sheehan, see, you see the difference. You see the difference in the argument the way I propose. Many would say that black women had to do that to be accepted.
Had to do what?
Straighten their hair
because of work, or they would
do certain things to fit in,
and they had to do that. What would you call it? And bear in mind, I'm not talking about straightening your hair. I'm talking about the blonde wigs.
The weave.
Right? For example, blonde, brunette, all kind of different colors.
Is that
you get what I'm saying? So what you're talking about is ancient history, Randy. That may have been the case in God knows whatever decade it was. No,
I don't necessarily disagree with you, you know. I'm just saying.
I understand what you're saying, but I'm just saying that many who would disagree and say, oh, they had to whatever to be accepted and all of this and all of that. Mm-hmm. That would have been a long, long time ago. Right? No, people can agree to disagree, but that would have been a long time ago. We're at a point now where they can even wear the blonde hair to work, or even red, or whatever color, to many jobs, not just in the US, but in Jamaica, because I witnessed that for myself. So that would have been a what would you call it? A stupid argument to say, to do this or do that.
Hold on there, Oliver. You see which part, yo? We are talking about switch it up from Alpha
Protoje
album.
Would Jay-Z be appropriate because him have dreads now?
No, it's okay because him black. You know
so, all right. Look, Randy said a thing earlier, and you said we can't grow. How are we going to grow if we don't allow other people into the culture, right? And that made me, I was thinking, and I said to myself when we talked about this earlier, we can't keep holding on so tight to things. I think in my experience, I've learned anytime there's any form of growth, even personal growth, it requires you to free up yourself. Am I accurate?
Yeah, that's true.
Even when it comes to finances, you can't hold on to your money and keep on hold it tight because you're sending a signal to the universe say you don't have enough. You hold on to this tight. I'm a big believer in attracting certain things to yourself. And I think the energy we tend to attract to yourself is let me hold on to reggae so tight. Oh, I won't.
It doesn't
go anywhere. Because you're sending to other people. Forget even the universe. You're telling people deliberately, stay away or else we're going to come for you. And we're going to drag you just because you like reggae or you do certain things involved in reggae. Right? I've mentioned this before, and I'm not saying reggaeton is not wrong or that they shouldn't give us credit. Right? But I think a lot of it, as Shane used to say, a mindset. We expect them to come and bow down to us.
In everything.
And we don't expect to work with them. Why does it have to be one person have to be here or there? We can agree to meet at the same place and say, let's work together. Maybe they'll say, oh, reggaeton artists don't want to work with them. I don't know. I'm ignorant to that. I'm not going to sit here and say I know what's going on in the specific conversations. But we can't have the mindset set. People need to bow down. And that's it. You're running people away. You're telling people stay away.
I think the big thing here, before we switch it up, like the song name, switch it up, is I think there's a fear of people benefiting more than I would because I am Jamaican or I am reggae. Or
No, but Randy,
that's the fear.
In my opinion, all of these people who are talk like you don't benefit left or right either way.
Mm-hmm.
So from that, you're just Jamaican, right? And at the end of the day, Jamaican culture is not yours to hug up and hold on to. You don't own it.
I talked about something a while ago. Heavy D was Jamaican, right? Well known that Heavy D, the rapper, if you don't, he passed away. Rest in peace, God bless his soul. Was a Jamaican that excelled in hip hop. Was he appropriating
hip hop?
And he brought reggae to the masses, right? Because he did a lot of collaborations, well, a few with Supercat.
Yeah.
Right? He shed a light on reggae at a time when not a lot of hip hop artists were even aware of dancehall or reggae. Heavy D did that. So we have to be more open.
Yeah.
Right? I'm not saying let people come in and take the music. Because what we should be worried about, we're not. Because when it comes to vinyl and stuff like that, the Asia, in China and Japan and in Europe, they have our vinyls. We don't care about vinyl records for the most part anymore. And Randy, as a DJ, you know this probably more than me. Them can school with for vinyl.
Definitely. And then the Jamaicans not buying music either.
Yeah, I like myself, kind of push it right there. So with this subject,
yeah, we kind of went.
Even though we are stem it off Protoje first song, switch it up. But the thing is, again, I just want to make this final point before we move. You may not feel like it applies, but one of the countries in the world where people owe the most money, or owe the most, even other countries owe, is China. And though many people might not speak Chinese, you don't see the Chinese are trying to tell people, say, yo, don't eat Chinese food, don't buy Chinese food, don't do this. Them try to share them culture with the world.
Yes. Every corner.
That's why everything made in China, brother.
And that's why are they benefiting so much from it. Everybody
they don't care if you want to take a part of it.
Everybody owe them.
They're probably like, yo, pay. Yo, as long as you pay.
Even if you boot like this thing, them understand how it go,
yo. Yeah. So yeah, anyway, I could switch it up. And like I said, Coffee did really good on the track, switch it up.
Coffee unusual.
Yeah. No, we did mention before the album of 2 Weed song. Seeing?
Mm-hmm.
You know, Protoje is a Rasta man. You see me? Last time I said dread, some man take offense to it. You see me? But Jacob Miller said, I'm just a dread. Where like smoke up a spliff and nobody never feel no way about it. So we don't know why me can't say the man a dread. But anyway, how do you feel about the 2 ganja tune them on Protoje album?
Yeah, me like it, man. Like the one with Wiz, I mean, a long time in here, Wiz Khalifa.
Yeah.
You get me? And it's crazy because if this, I'm talking about appropriation again, if this was a Wiz Khalifa album featuring Protoje, you'd probably hear things. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
And the genius to produce this.
Oh, yeah? But the fact say, it's Protoje featuring Wiz Khalifa, that's okay. You
Definitely.
Get me? So, we are so one-sided with the whole concept of how we look at life. It's just ridiculous. But anyway, really like the track, and it's appropriate. You couldn't find a better person to collab with, and a vibe, which is the name of the track with Wiz Khalifa.
Yeah.
And Weed and Thing really mellow.
A lot of smooth.
Yeah.
Record.
Usual.
How you feel about it, Oliver?
So outside of reggae, I like Wiz. Liked him from before he even became popular. And him is a real weed connoisseur, so to speak. A big weed advocate, right? If it ain't Wiz, it's Snoop, and if it ain't Snoop, it's Wiz when it comes to weed.
Yeah.
In a hip hop culture, right? So I think that was the perfect person for the record. I'm curious how he was able to get that feature. If it was the label or him actually going out there and making that connection. We'll see. I don't know. I didn't check to see if Wiz said anything about the record on his Instagram or anything like that. It would be nice to know that. But I like that. I see more, and this is just a small segue. I see a lot of the younger artists trying to do that. We've discussed this before. We need to mend the way and build that bridge again with hip hop like we had in the 90s. So I see Popcorn out there making relationship, because you can't just expect people to do records with you. We have to have real relationships in the industry. That's how we're going to build real relationships with the execs who are higher up as well. So Popcorn is really close with Drake. He's close with Meek Mill, as we've seen Mika and him in Jamaica a couple times, right? Him do a record with Dave East the other day, and for people who don't know, Dave East is pretty popular in New York. Maybe not as big as some of the other, but in New York, he's at the forefront, right? And I see the interaction even on social media between them. So they're going out and putting in this work, and it might seem simple to some people, like, oh, them just run behind this, because we love to say that too. You have to talk to people and communicate. Another issue, we have to talk to people outside of our culture. That's how you learn. That's how you grow, right? If you go through this world only seeing how your people do it, you're at a disadvantage.
Yeah.
And this is one of the value of traveling. You ever notice when you travel and go somewhere, you never return the same?
It's true.
It might be a small thing where you realize, wow, that's how they do it in Colombia. I wonder why they do it that way. That's how they do it in Costa Rica. But we do it that way there. Why them do it that way there? Oh, but China, why them do it so? And you start formulate different ways to do things.
Sometimes it give you an appreciation because you see similarities to when you're like, yeah, we think of Jamaican alone or, Caribbean people alone do this. So
just a segue. What me always find curious is no matter where you go in the world, everybody have something where they make with fried dough and meat inside of it.
Yeah.
No matter where you're going, me so far in this world, there's some kind of fried dough with meat in it. With a empanada, with a beef patty.
Yeah.
With a the way or the Italian them do it in the what you call it? Forgot it. The Russian them do it in the pierogies.
Yeah.
And the Italian them do it in the calzone.
Yeah, by the way, people, Oliver is well traveled. Don't feel like
well traveled. I don't know, man. I got
world citizen.
I don't know about that, man.
Yeah.
We have a lot of places to go, but we all traveled. All three of us have traveled different continents.
Right.
So we said that just to say it does matter. And I understand everybody is not able to travel, but it still means open just to listen to hear what someone else
open-minded, yeah.
Yeah, don't throw them away and just block them off and say, I can't learn anything from it.
That is a big deal. I know sometimes people, we are talking about a specific thing and you say, yo, how this relate, but it does relate because we are talking about collaboration, we are talking about building relationships, right?
Building our culture.
Yes, and how do you expect for us to make good chemistry and deliver good music if we not build relationship, build ties, share a culture with others so people get familiar and comfortable? So, I mean, them things that like to me, this track with Wiz, it was, I couldn't tell it different. It just felt everything just gelled and worked.
And the chemistry was just
like a
on point.
California,
Yeah,
like a cruising down the California Boulevard, right?
yo, it was a
That's
vibe.
created something.
It was
Yes.
a vibe. Not
And
only
that
that,
wouldn't be created without Wiz.
right. So we're not only, so we mentioned 2 weeks and a 2 weeks and number one next one named Weed and Thing.
That bad too.
And overall, I'm gonna tell you, say, so the Wiz one name, it's a vibe. And just overall, both songs, just the sonics, the vibe, the feel, the flow, the tempo. It does put you in a mood, you know. If you was a man where indulge in the, you know, the golden
The
herb
chocolate,
or whatever,
the greens, whatever you want.
you see me? You know, say yo,
Jamaican
man,
people don't say, oh, ganja, what that?
yo, you could I mean, picture me rolling here, roll down a highway on a course or something. Or maybe you're there, you do some work and you either one of these 2 tracks are play. You do some work and
Cook up some ackee and
yeah, sweep up the yard and that is the next thing. That's why I tell you, say, give me a voice. My uncle, rest in peace, him pass and gone. Yo, them Monday when them Monday I'll build up for them spliff and start smoke for them spliff, you know, man. Yo, the whole yard clean up, everything in the man garden. When I see them man the garden, you know, man, it come like a botanical garden, you know, brother. Yeah, what we used to have a pipe right in the middle of the garden. And all the edging, everything cut nice and clean. And is in my mind, I'm like, yo, you see it? And them on the normally I do that and I listen, I look a radio, I play a local tune where I kind of hear them kind of vibe, you see me? So it put me in another place there. It put me in another mood there. Like the song, it's a vibe. You see me? But now I say that for necessarily encourage people to go pick up a spliff and smoke it because they want to get that mood and that feeling like I described. It might not work for everybody.
You know, you're the viewers that say we need to go smoke some weed.
I'm gonna chill out.
You see?
Yeah, weed don't make us smart, no.
Yo, a couple lager heads I say that, brother. You see, a couple knuckle heads where
I mean,
like,
we're not against weed, but
yeah,
if
we
I
feel
that
like
alone now gonna make it smart.
why if we not aspire to or believe the same thing, but some of them believe it's like we are idiot. You see me? Why? But
that's another thing we need for, you know, and it's cool. That's part of it. Anytime we're out there, we are critique other people's stuff, so people are gonna critique us. But we try not to do the name calling. But that are gonna come with it. You're dumb, you're this. And none of them know, none of them know any of us.
Yeah.
And I shared before, everyone on this panel is qualified.
Yeah.
Are educated then, if you want to use that word. But we don't need to go into what each person qualification is at some time down the road, maybe. But no one on this panel is dumb.
Yeah.
So when people say, oh, you're dumb, the name calling, I don't think any of us have really said an entertainer is dumb or whatever. We might not agree with some of the movements that they make, right? But to be calling people names, you know, it's...
Yeah, see him so, I said, just like the next track when you see him so.
Oh, that we didn't review this already.
Yeah, but guess what? We're not gonna even really talk about that one. We can review it already. But again,
people go check out the review.
Yeah, for see him so. We have one before with that song yeah. See him so.
Next song,
produced by who you say Oliver Zaya.
Yes, I think I one name artist that Zaya.
Yeah.
Young youth, so, my artist too.
Him do a whole heap of production on the album.
Which is the reason why it sounds so cohesive.
Yes, definitely.
One of the reasons.
Yeah. The next song, track number 7, In Bloom.
What is In Bloom?
Featuring Leela Ike. And
so she why in blue? Cause she
before she get into it, the song sound like it had a sample before it started at the beginning. Couldn't connect where that come from. If anybody out there knows and can put it in the comments, please do. right? But it have a sample, and then Lila Ike end up like a kind of sing something off of the sample before the track kick off, really, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but yeah,
Well, let's say composer Frederick McGregor.
Oh,
okay,
Freddie McGregor.
So maybe they
So
took
maybe it's a
something
Freddie.
from a Freddie track.
Freddie, like a Freddie
okay,
track.
Maybe. I'm just speculating based on a quick look at the credits.
okay.
Okay. Maybe. So you may be right. Compo.
And lyricist too. So
And yeah, he's listed as a lyricist as well. Freddie
Okay.
McGregor.
Yeah, so maybe it's a Freddie tune. You have to dig deep for that one there to find that one there. But that one named In Bloom featuring Lila
check the
Ike.
vault.
And this again, the chemistry on that one overloaded. The chemistry on that one it overloaded to the extent I kind of feel as a type of way about it. But more Oliver talk about it still. How you
Why
feel
me?
about the
No,
chemistry
man.
pod?
No, man. I'm going to make shit take that one here, brother.
Yo. So yeah, man. You know, cause they say when a flower blooms, in layman's term, it opens up, right?
Right.
So I mean, from where I'm sitting, I don't know how to look at that title.
There's no visual, right?
Plus,
I think it was just a screenshot of the two of them staring at each other's eyes.
And that something like
That's what I saw. I don't know if there's a video.
yeah. So you know, I don't know.
yeah.
I mean, if it is, and hey,
I
they're
mean,
grown
it's
people.
okay.
I'm happy for them.
But,
I mean,
Right.
maybe they wanted us to have this discussion.
but you know, them look good together. They make it look good together too, and them sound good together. And the chemistry, like you say, overload. You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't think this is the first time people hearing this. So,
Mm-hmm.
you know, whether there is or isn't, or maybe they just, like I said, playing on that they've heard this, so they're playing with it. I don't know. Either way, it's a good track.
Yeah,
And like I said, chemistry overload.
people can't help but think though, because I'm not gonna lie. Mr. Lila Ike repel a ton of people. So like she repel them like on the level, like bug off, yo, leave me the F alone.
So
in
you mean
my mind,
nobody else?
Yeah, in my mind, me I wonder, is she just focused on doing this music thing and getting things going, or you know, improvement and thing or whatever. Our goal.
Somebody got it on lockdown. You know, it could behavior. When people with us don't take it as we being childish or immature.
No, I mean, you see, we only can talk about what we say because guess what? Sometimes people feel the same way. So people again,
this ain't the first time.
People again, we not try to shade the artist then. So if you feel the same way and you have a reason for back it up, is it not back it up like that? Please do. Just share, you see me?
And if you also feel so them just play on it because them see say people are saying, comment that too. Just share, me could see how everybody feel.
Yeah. Since them attack, I could give them.
You know?
Since them attack, I could give them something to talk about. You know them way there?
We need more people to comment and talk. Not even on, I said it before, not on our page, but on edit. The culture needs to be more involved. You know what I'm saying? This is how we grow. But all of open and talk and have dialogue.
Definitely. The last 3 tracks, I'm gonna name them out, right? And the last 3 tracks, I love the last 3 tracks too. I can't tell you why, but let's not name it. But you have one named Self Defense, then you have like Royalty feature and
that have a video, yeah.
And then you have Strange Things happening, right? In our like I said, in our circumference way, just like how you guys feel about those 3 tracks.
So, what the next track?
Self Defense.
Okay, Self Defense. Him have a video with that with Lila Ike again.
Yeah.
And he's teaching her self defense.
Yeah.
Like they having some kind of karate or some kind of showing her how to defend herself. And the chemistry again was in full bloom. So it was a simple video. But I like the message in the song. Cause we have certain little loose man a yard and not just Jamaica, but we're talking about Jamaica because of the culture.
Yeah.
Where rape the woman them. Him have a line when him say
Yes.
some man a say them would have rape woman before them turn gay.
Yeah.
And he must say like the two things them related.
Yes.
And I'm glad he said that because I used to feel like this from younger. I swear to when me like, wait, what kind of question that? When I support that, but all the two correlate.
You're right.
You have a rape before you touch. That seems to be like a coward way of saying you will take where it's not given to you.
Right.
And we have to protect the woman. And Jamaica, we're very protective of our women. That's a fact. Right? Whether our mother, our auntie, our grandmother. But then sometimes you have some little loose man in the culture that go out and pretend like women are their property.
Definitely.
I never said this and move on, make you ashamed comment. That's something that I had to learn and grow up. Women are not your property. No one is your property. Right? And it's still prevalent in the culture and even here.
Mm-hmm.
You're dating someone, they have the right to leave. I've always said you can deal with someone for 20 years and then can come home in the kitchen and just say, no, I said this now work out. I'm not saying you should give up, but you should be prepared for that mentally, that can happen. Right? And your reaction shouldn't be, yo, my woman and yo, she not going nowhere. You don't own her.
Blow out Oliver.
You have an experience with this woman, this human being.
Yo, Oliver, you give me a blow visual a while ago, like a woman that come home in our kitchen and broke up with.
Yeah. No, because I said that forget the visual action. I say it's specific because that can happen. You can come home and expect dinner and she go, yo, the dinner not making up. Why? Yo, I have my things packed, yo. It now work out. I'm ready for move. Yo, but everything seemed fine.
Boy, Joe Grind star.
But I don't know if I Joe Grind, but you're ready for cut. You don't own her. And she don't own you.
Yeah.
Right? And that's actually an unhealthy way of thinking.
Yeah, man.
But me and you, we all grew up in a Jamaica, Shane. We all talk to your brethren them. And the man them act like, oh, them gal, yo, I want to get her a talk. And yeah, but you can do it in a gentleman way.
See?
You don't own her. Right? She know your property if you pick and choose like you pick mango and fruits. See what I say?
You see it.
So the woman them have a right to choose.
Yeah.
And you can't just rape up the woman them. Come on, man.
The woman them to know them value too, you know? You see me? Yeah. So we can treat them like royalty the next song. You see me I say? And
royalty. She never comment on.
So but she never, well, I don't know if she really wants to say nothing, but the reason why I'm segue into that and why I've been doing that, right, as you can see, to segue into the other ones, is we just show you say the entire work, the entire album is a cohesive body of work. It's like the man positioned the track them the ideal place.
Yo, the flow.
Yeah. So yeah, Shane, me never cut you, but if you do want to say nothing about the self-defense track.
Yeah, I mean, the same sentiment for that, you know, because he's teaching her how to hold her own, right? And that could also be symbolic as far as her career as well.
Yeah.
That's an excellent point.
You get what I'm saying? So, because if you remember, some time ago, she had to make a comment like, I think it was an interview that she was having with ER, if I'm not mistaken. Some interview, but she commented where it's like she had to like have people easing off. Like she barely got started with her own career, and it's like people just running in like, yo, what's up? And she had to
feature.
And she had to basically put her fists up, so to speak, as far as defending her own, and like, so that for me was more of Karate Kid kind of moment where, you know, he's teaching her how to not only defend herself, but defend her journey and her career and, you know, just everything surrounding that, you know what I mean?
See,
And you know, just to add to that, you make me think about something, Shane. When you're there with that woman, you're supposed to strengthen her to be able to protect herself and take care of herself. There's an old school time mentality sometimes. Right. Say the woman for relying upon you the whole time. That's weakness. You have to make sure say your empress strong. Because if anything go down, she can take care of your youth and your youths them if anything needed to handle. The whole idea is you're not going to coach her up to be strong. That's BS. When you should pride yourself on being in relationship where every relationship, the woman's supposed to leave stronger than when she met them.
definitely.
Not weaker. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, that's just my 2 cents. Because I try to make the woman them say, but now just do it to get the female viewers.
So I'm to the man them feel like you're cutting fall for mangoes.
So the man, I don't really think so.
Anybody where in at this time especially where I think there's some waste, man.
A two-way street, right?
Mm.
And you have some man out here help them bridging and not look upon it that way there, where you just say.
So them would rather help them bridging, but them not help them woman.
You see me? That's what I'm trying to say. To me, that weird. Personally, that weird.
Them brother.
Yeah. I say I help them, my brother treat them.
Yeah, see it. Yeah, man, but like
then you have some man gonna say them brethren more loyal to them.
Yeah.
The woman bringing Joe grind on them and them gonna feel like them lose. Bro, you never lose anytime you do good for people. So, you see me?
Yo, whole heap of tidbits that Oliver share with you, and share.
No, I don't know because you know them.
So I want the people them accept it and know say yo, I just real talk. We are free flow opinions from our art, but we
them can share for them opinion. If them disagree, show me another way. Make we say okay, let me see where you're way. Cause maybe them have a better analogy or analysis.
True.
So share too.
Yeah, rather than we get into royalty, you know, like royalty, because it's a single out there, kind of clap down the place, feel like the biggest single on the album.
It's, to me, the biggest, yeah.
What you feel about Strange Happenings? That's the final track.
I mean, Strange Happenings, you know.
You get where the track come from?
I know where the track come from.
Right.
Shane Young, you know.
Boy, Shane love one like him young. Yo, maybe him just never used to listen to music back in them time. Them used to go to church people.
Well, for me, though, it resonate because the artists where him sample, or the track come from, the man that used to be the biggest thing in a dance hall at one point.
Yeah.
The biggest, I mean, I talk marketable, everything.
Yep.
One of the first artists me personally see in person. And when me I tell you, say, whatever LL Cool J did look like in the 80s with him chain them and thing, that was this artist. And the artist I'm talking about is Papa San. Papa San did have a whole heap of jewelry.
Yeah.
Fresh. When me tell you, say, the woman them used to love Papa San.
Papa San did do a tune where say, man about right, woman about right, too. If you don't treat me now got something like that. Yeah.
But Strange Thing was a song that resonated to me with me from as little kid. I go to school and I remember them song there. I mean I say yo that youth are bad the artist to the point where my cousin, me now put her out there. If she hear this, she probably know what me I talk about.
Yeah.
But she was infatuated as a teenager with Papa San, bro.
I think what we are talking about.
Yeah, infatuated like, yo, she want to meet Papa San and everything. And I say, yo, more time I pass him on the road, I go down there, so he used to have one house close to a Buju studio there now.
Yeah.
And the way I go down there, so.
Yeah.
Them used to be a house. I don't know who it was, but he used to over them more time on the veranda.
Okay.
And I tell you, say, fresh to death. But Strange Things was a big tune. We're talking what that 89, 80, 80, 90,
I saw well, I think I probably early 90s, maybe 91 or 90.
91.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
for people who don't know, go check out Papa San. I know him a Christian,
Yeah.
but yo, him a Lieutenant Stitchy, the governor, are the two baddest thing them a road at one time.
Bad artist.
Yeah.
General Trees
And a lot of
General
artists
Trees
too.
used to bad too.
Yes, and a lot of artists take stuff from Lieutenant Stitchy. They tell you that. Me hear it out of them own mouth. Say, yo, Stitchy, as somebody, the way him used to come on the stage,
Yeah.
as somebody where them really used to look up to or make them even want to go in a music.
Boy, Shane, check out for now when I don't know who we are talking about.
You know Papa San.
I know Papa San, man, but
you know the Christian.
Them time I had the toddler, yo.
Seeing.
The man I try to make you look old right there.
Them time I had the tiny tots, yo. But yeah, man, the man they're legend for real.
Strange things are happening.
And you know, it definitely was a decent tribute. You know, a decent way to end the album as well.
Yeah.
You know?
Remember, Papa San said you are this lady, she said.
Mine destroy the relationship. Yeah, I watch this again on that. So like me say, the whole thing to me, and if you listen to Protoje, you've heard him before, if you're a fan of Protoje, you know everything what the man do just sound poetic. It almost to me just sound like him is a poet more than him is actually a singer, rapper.
Yeah, long time. And him very, like I say, him always think deeper than just surface level with what he puts out and how he goes about it. You know what I mean?
I know we've been discussing this album very long. We're gonna wrap it up in a
very
few,
long.
right?
In about an hour.
Yeah, we're gonna wrap it up. But me just want to ask you the question, like, how you feel overall about me know how me feel. So me just want to know how you explain to me how you feel overall about this body of work and like what you kind of get from it. Me know you did already say about what you feel about the In Search of Lost Times and the meaning, but what you feel about this entire body of work since we just went down basically track for track?
I mean, I think it was very well prepared and put together. You know what I mean? Like a lot of plans went into it and a lot of vision. You know what I mean? You know, I just feel like it's done how it was. This is one that I would say was done this way based on a precise, you know, plan. Like, you know, this is how I want to put
everything deliberate.
Yeah. You know, and you know, in a lot of ways, like I said, Protoje is one that I feel do a lot of things, symbolically. You know, as far as In Search of Last Time, the album, The Ancient Future, the 7-year itch, the 8-year, what was the 8-year one? The 8-year affair. You know what I mean? So it's always in reference to time. You know, so I think that there's something behind that. And, you know, for this one, I think the timing was good.
Oliver?
You see what I did there?
Similar, it's like I was saying before.
Good timing.
Them always, Shane say him like a poet, you know, he read a lot of novels and poems. Hence the titles for the albums. I share the same, him as a deep thinker. I think he put together sonically a very good album. And I think what he's striving for is the Grammy. And he's striving to help others and to solidify and bring reggae on a larger scale. I think that's his quest to promote the music more to a wider audience. And it's no coincidence the people who him link up with, the Popcorn.
Yeah.
They are very similar in the way they move. Mm-hmm. Right? And I think it's because them connect on certain levels. Maybe some of the other artists them can connect on that same level. And instead of the me, is a we thing.
Right.
Yeah,
And
him
me,
come across very selfless.
like it's a we thing in Japan, right? Not just a me thing. And I know that's part of human culture, part of our culture, because we've been limited in the music space. So we always I try to think about me, because if me have to share it, a lesson at the part for me. I'm gonna go back to this universal thought again and I'm gonna close out. You're sending a message that there's not enough. There's enough for everybody. Money not stop print if I be the case, if a money are your issue. So we have to start things enough there for me, you, blah blah blah. All of we can succeed.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's me, man. Wrap it up, Carl. Randy.
Yeah. My wrap up is Protoje brings to the table what I feel like has been lacking from many of our current artists. I feel like he mastered the art of storytelling. You know, in such when him tell him story, then you actually get a feeling, you can relate to it, you feel connected to it. You see me? So I mean, overall for me, this is a beautiful body of work. Um, then I love all of the reggae elements when I'm including it, you know, like that and like royalty, him kind of have the slur or the flow like Eddie Fitzroy, you know, like
Mm-hmm.
the remake of strange things that are happening, and then I like the fact that the producer them put in the effort to put in certain little things in the track and to give that reggae reference, that foundation reference. You see me I say? So overall for me, this is like I said before, the same word I used was cohesive body of work. And hopefully it bring Protoje something great. Yeah, in search of last time.